Welcome to LSB Feaster's Radio Air Check and Classic TV channel.
WABC Talkradio 77 in your nearly famous Rasa and Wilson show. Hello, good morning, and welcome to Thursday. Here we are. Now, those of you tuning in late, you were probably expecting to hear the dulcet tones of Dia Zadora this morning. She, unfortunately, had another schedule change and had to...
you know how when they get to be big stars, how quickly they...
Well, she's not
forget.
that tall, but it's nice to think about it.
I wasn't talking tall.
I know that.
Well, you know, we were talking about TV earlier, and apparently there's a new study out that finds that 43% of the audience misses one or more commercials during a half-hour TV show.
And rightfully so. I'm surprised they don't miss more.
The study also found that many of the people that market products that they put on TV target them for women, especially mothers with school-age children, and they're the most likely people to miss commercials.
Yes.
For dinners or whatever. Elizabeth Roberts, the president of the nonprofit research concern that did the study, says viewers were distracted easily, and the television served as little more than just a talking lamp. Three-quarters of the people who weren't watching alone were talking to someone else in the room. 1/5 of them were doing household chores. 18% were eating. 17 were reading, and 12% were engaged in other leisure pursuits.
Yes.
Maybe Rembrandt's delight. You
So to speak.
tell.
Come here, goat.
Well, you know what's amazing? I just got cable for the first time.
Finally.
Yeah, and I was watching this movie the other night.
Which one?
I don't remember. I guess it was
You don't remember?
the George Hamilton one.
The Gay Blade.
Yeah,
Zorro the Gay Blade.
Right. I'd never seen it. I thought, I kind of like George Hamilton. I thought I would watch the movie. So,
Well, sounds like a movie right up your alley.
well, not mine.
No.
But here I said, well,
You
I
said you like George
kind of
Hamilton.
getting hungry, and I said, well, I'll just wait for a commercial. And then it dawned on me, there weren't any commercials.
That's one of the adverse effects of cable television. Everyone watches them for no commercials, but then you don't have a chance to go back.
Yeah.
Which makes videotaping the only way.
I guess
Well,
so.
whatever.
Yeah.
But there are people who have bought videotape recorders and have had the same thing.
Yeah.
They're sitting there watching it, and they've edited out all the movies when they recorded it, or they bought a tape that did everything, and say, gee, I wish something would stop here for a minute. I want to go to the bathroom or get a beer or something. And all of a sudden it dawns on them, hey, stop this sucker. I want to go to the room. It is a very strange feeling. Well, let's go back to the phones here for a moment and talk. Good morning. You're on the air. Elizabeth?
Yeah, hi.
How are you this morning?
Oh, just great.
Good,
listen,
good.
I'm not going to tell you guys how good you are because everybody else is.
Well, thank you very much. It was, our heads were swelling and noticeably here.
That's what I heard. I heard they had to expand the doorway so you get into the building.
That's exactly right. Yeah, get his VA approved, too, yeah.
Listen, I just wanted to know, I have
That's
something...
why they have garage doors at NBC.
Yeah, and they don't even deserve them.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
What I wanted to ask you is, I have something that will be of particular interest to Mr. McPartland.
Oh, yes.
And I wanted to know where I could drop it off there.
Your daughter?
No. I don't have a daughter.
Oh, you don't? Well, what is it you want to drop
I
off?
can't really say.
Uh-huh.
It's...
A personal matter, is it?
Oh, no, it's not that personal.
Oh, okay. Picture, piece of lingerie, maybe? Oh, listen, I tell you what.
Well, as you know, for you people who might have tuned in late, Steve McParland just turned 30.
We're trying to marry him off. He wants to be married. He wants to go into production and create a bunch of little bouncing baby McParlands.
The dynasty theory of broadcasting.
And it is kind of contrary to the way things have been going in our country lately.
And for Steve.
And for Steve especially, who's been known to be, well, of course, Steve is not an overnight success, as would be attested to by a number of his girlfriends.
Really?
But I would, that's what we're trying to accomplish here.
That's no reason to get down on the guy.
The well-deserved obscurity that he is, hard-earned oblivion that he has been a part of for these past several years.
So we're trying to help Steve out. We have our own little, I guess, ongoing campaign to help out Steve and find him a nice girl.
A nice girl, yes. So if you wanted to, I'm sorry, but let's get back to Elizabeth here. In answer to your question, Elizabeth, our studios are located at 1330 Avenue of the Americas, right on the corner, right on the price.
The corner of 54th and 6th.
You can't miss it. There's this large ABC disc right outside the building there, a large cube. The cube, of course, was taken from a free sculpture from our general manager's head, and it's a marvelous thing with the ABC's cube, discs implanted on each side. You can't miss it. If you'll just bring it into the desk, in the lobby, we have some very charming, very personable, very warm and friendly security men down there.
Keeping the lobby safe for America.
They'll put down their M16s momentarily and be happy to accept the package for Steve and give it to him when he comes in.
Okay. something in it for you guys too.
Oh, there is, huh?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't leave you guys out. You're the best.
Well, I hope you'll bring it over today, because we get hungry about this time every morning. We're looking forward to it.
Okay, well listen, you guys have a real good day.
You too, and thanks for calling.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Now, looks like we'll get Steve fixed up here before
I
too
think
much longer.
that's very nice of you.
Well, it is contrary to the way things have been going. You know, not too many people getting married these days.
Yes.
And those that are getting unmarried. Take it from Ross and me, for example. And then you've got people living together.
Yes.
And all these wonderful things
Happens all the time.
It's nice to hear a clean-cut, upstanding guy like Steve McFarland say he wants to get married.
Yes, I think it's deserving. While we have a second here, let me say happy birthday to someone special, Brian. I know you don't usually like to do this, but this is a special case. Someone who is near and dear to both of our hearts.
Near and dear.
Rune Arledge.
I'm on my knees.
Having a birthday today. He's 51 years old. He lives up on the 39th or 40th floor.
Up there in the rarefied atmosphere of
the executive territory.
And chief executive officer, the president,
and
vice president.
Lest this morning go without a mention. I think it's important.
I think it's good that we mention, since most of the people with it. I mean, this is a very symbiotic company here. ABC listens to ABC, watches ABC, eats, drinks, and etc. is ABC. I mean, we know where the best is, with a few nototable exceptions.
I've drawn mustaches on Dan Rather posters all the time.
Sure, absolutely. And I've stained his sweater myself on a number of occasions. And only under duress have we deigned to appear on Alive at 5.
So, Rune, happy birthday to you. And
happy birthday to you.
Many happy returns.
Happy birthday, dear Rune, the father of ABC Sports.
Yes, and now...
Where you can have the thrill of victory, and may you never experience the agony of defeat.
Yeah, very tastefully put, Brian.
Yeah, it just kind of came to me there. I had this vision of a skier going off the side of a jump or something. It was kind of reminded me of our ratings.
It's the Ross and Wilson Show, speaking of which, you might want to write that down if you have the opportunity.
Wilson, right. You might want to note it in your diary as you go along from time to time.
And this is WABC Talk Radio 77.
Marvin on 7, okay. Good morning, Marvin.
Brian?
Yes, this is Brian and my partner Ross Brittain together again, once again reunited on WABC.
Okay.
How are you this morning?
I'm okay.
I know you're okay. I'm okay, you're okay. I read the book, yeah. What part of New Jersey are you calling from there, Marv?
I'm not calling from New Jersey. I'm calling from New York.
Funny, you're on our New... Oh, yeah, that is New York. What's that noise in the background? Is that your mother-in-law or what?
Yeah, that's my future mother-in-law.
Future mother-in-law, okay. Somebody told me that. That's a horrible thing to say. It's a sexist comment, Marvin. I really don't think you should get into that. You're going to get a lot of obscene phone calls.
Marvin, what do you do?
I'm nothing. I'm a student at City College.
Yeah, well, you're right. You don't do anything. Most students at CCNY don't do much of anything anyway, especially after they graduate. Marvin, what
can we do for you this morning?
I'd like to know, you ever going to have Phil Rasulo on
Phil? Mm-hmm. Well, Phil...
his wife, Cora.
And his lovely wife, Cora, yes. Well, Phil, it's difficult to get our hands on Phil. When Phil is... Well, now, for example, now he's on the West Coast, he's out there. And then when he comes east... if they're not working a night game, he's out playing golf, and you know how golfers get started early in the morning. Now, Phil does have a special golf club with a transistor radio in the head, and he listens to us whenever he is out on the golf course. He's been known to turn the volume up very loud when his opponent is putting. We have extended the invitation to Phil to be on the show. So far, he has adamantly refused and has threatened to sue if we continue to bother him. However, we are...
that kind of puts a damper on things, as you can well imagine.
But not being ones that are easily tuned up, as the astrologer mentioned yesterday, we do have a tenacious Saturn, and we are going after him with a vengeance. Our next move, as soon as they get back from Oakland, is to send him a couple of the negatives that we managed to snap of him down in Florida.
And we've hired a process server, so...
Paradise Massage Parlor, and
we'll be sure it gets to him.
I don't think we're going to have too many problems of getting Phil on here sometime after the All-Star break, possibly with Bullet McPhoon, as we mentioned earlier.
Never tell.
Okay?
Okay.
Thanks for calling, Mark.
It's your nearly famous Ross and Wilson Show at WABC Talk Radio 77.
Mel, good morning. How are you?
Hello, Brian.
How are you today?
Very, very well, thank you.
Where in the Way, New York, are you calling from?
I'm calling from 103rd Street and Riverside Drive.
Oh, well, you're right over there on the lovely west side.
Yes, it's lovely this time of year.
I've heard that. What can we do with you for you this morning?
Listen, Brian, I don't know if you remember my voice or what. It might sound slightly familiar, but when you first came to New York from Atlanta a few months ago...
A year and a half.
I was working down at the famed Castro Convertibles on 23rd Street.
Uh-huh.
And and I sold you your Castro convertible.
Oh, you did? Oh, yes, I remember.
We were walking upstairs, and we were talking. That was about the same time all of that horrible business.
Yes, I remember that.
Telling you that I was a singer and the possibility of moving there. And
and I encouraged you to do so, right?
Yeah, make the move.
Did you do it?
In a certain part of town.
Yeah, and you didn't do it.
I'm still here in Nueva York.
Nueva York, yes.
And I'm still trying to get my thing together in terms of singing.
Well, are you a singer currently?
Yes.
Are you singing anywhere for pay?
Yes, I am.
Where?
Not right now, but in about 3 weeks I'll be singing at a place called Jason's.
What's
on
in
73rd Street, right off Central Park West. It's in the Park Royale Hotel.
Well, that's marvelous. That's right up near where Ross lives.
Yes, it is. And
what kind of songs are in your repertoire?
Oh, I do a number of things. I do some show tunes, some blues, some rock. And,
well, like what?
Well, what kind of show tunes?
Well, I'm getting some new things together. I do a show tune from, it's not a current hit, but it was something that was happening a few years ago from Raisin.
Raisin?
Which is wonderful music.
You mean Raisin in the
other
Sun?
things that are happening that I'm trying to put together right now.
Do you do anything from like Evita or Barnum or anything like that?
No, I don't. Although there's some fabulous songs from those shows.
Oh yeah, Don't Cry for Me, Barbara Streisand.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that one.
You happen to know any more popular tunes like, say, Oh Susanna or?
Oh Susanna?
Do you know that one?
I vaguely remember that one.
Could you fake it? Listen, I've got my harmonica here, and I was just thinking, Mel, we might be able to do something here.
Up in a flat, maybe we can get something going.
Well, you know that there's an awful lot of agents, booking talent, and producers that listen to this show every day, and by golly, here's this who knows? Federico Fellini may be out there right now.
All right, well,
you can be the new Saturicon. Who knows?
There you go. Okay, we can get you to do a tune then, right?
Let's get a little fanfare here for her.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is new talent time once again. Thank you, boys, on the Ross and Wilson
What do I
Show.
do?
Mel, first, Mel, what is that? Do you use a stage name?
Mel Grayson.
Mel Grayson.
Right.
Friends, here's Mel Grayson, now former Castro convertible sofa salesman down on 23rd Street, now breaking into the big time. Well, let me check the ratings again here. Hold on just a second. Breaking into the medium time here on the Ross and Wilson Show. Mel, a singer of some repute, ill or otherwise,
yes.
And he's going to take a crack at it here as teaming up for the first time, Mel Grayson and your Ross and Wilson team with a impromptu rendition of Oh Susanna.
The tapes are rolling, Mel, and you'll be able to get this to a record producer.
Are you ready?
A little louder, Brian. Okay.
How's that? Okay, here we go. A 1 and a 2 and a... Where are you, Mel?
I thought you were going to give me 2 or something.
Oh, you want a little vamp going into it?
I'll try to remember the words.
I tell you what, I'll give you a little vamp on the way in, okay? So and then you take it. You ready?
I don't remember the first. Let's get into the meat of it.
Oh, I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. I come from Louisiana with Chula for the sea. It rained so hard today I left. The weather was dry. The sun's so hot I froze to death. Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, oh, don't you cry for me. Susanna, oh, don't you
cry for me.
Don't stop.
Well, I come from Louisiana with a banjo on my knee. How's that?
Oh, that's terrific. Now, you want to do it with the harmonica or not? Listen, we had a lady do this with Irish Eyes for St. Patrick's Day. I figured the least you could do is Oh Susanna here on July the 8th.
Well, that's great.
And what's great?
The whole idea of this thing.
Well, let's do it, Mel. What do you
I listen to you every morning.
Yeah, all right.
And again, I've been listening to everybody give you accolades and whatnot, but I really think you guys are fabulous. And I had no idea when I was talking to you. I remember that day like yesterday.
Yeah, me too.
I was talking to you up there at Castro, and
every night I go to bed, I think of it.
You guys are so fantastic.
Right. Listen, Mel, let's take some backsliding here. Mel, let's cut the crap here and get to the hardcore entertainment. You want to sing along with me in this harmonica?
The last time I did Oh Susanna, I was a Boy Scout at about 14 years old. I don't remember the words.
Well, listen, you Boy Scout at 14. What's a year or two? Come on. All right, look, Mel. Look, I tell you what. What do you open your show with? We're trying to get you a big recording contract here.
I opened my show with a tune called Natural Man.
Natural? Oh yeah, Lou Rawls did that.
Yeah, you're right, exactly.
Yeah,
he did it about 5 years ago or so, and that's what I opened with.
Okay, well listen, can you do it a cappella?
Sure I can.
Okay, here's Mel Grayson, friends, about to be appearing at the Grunge Hotel up on 73rd Street. What was the name of it?
I'm glad you pronounced that and not me.
What was it?
Jason's.
The what?
Jason's
Hotel.
Restaurant, club, dinner, spot.
Oh, Jason's.
At the Park Royale Hotel.
Park Royale.
23 West 73rd Street.
23 West 73rd. All right, so, wait a minute now.
Wayland, York, that's August 7th, by the way. Saturday night at 9 o'clock.
I got it. What is this one night only or what?
One night only right now, but I'm sure I'll be coming back there for a while.
No, that's not what the manager said, but let me...
All right, so here's Mel.
Here's Mel now with a few scores of his opening number to Natural Man on the nearly famous Ross and Wilson show. Take it away, Mel!
Answer with the music.
Well, you just...
Here we go.
Here we go.
You ready for me?
Yeah, boy, are we.
And we go. I don't want no gold watch for working 50 years from 9 to 5.
2, 3.
While the boss is guzzling champagne and I'm belting beer and some dive.
Hey, Mel?
No, I wanna be...
Hey, Mel?
Yes.
Are you black?
Yes, I am, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I see.
Brian, I thought you remembered me.
I do remember. You were a lot paler then, obviously. Some of your roots is not coming through there, Mel. It probably does a lot better with a little funky band in the background.
Shall I go on?
No, please. I think you ought to cancel that date on August.
Mel, we've got to pay the rent. We'll be back.
Thanks, Brian.
It's the first rainbow across the nation. Nationwide savings.
I can't believe people still pay banks a fee for checking, especially a checking account that pays little or no interest. Don't settle for an old-fashioned bank checking account. First Nationwide Savings wants your checking account and will pay you more than most money market funds to get it. Plus, First Nationwide Savings offers real checking convenience and a Visa credit card with no annual fee. Market reserve checking only at First Nationwide Savings.
The Federal Savings and Loan Association. Balance over $2,000 earns money market interest. Is not a savings account or deposit and is not insured by the FSLIC, but is secured by government obligations. Visa subject to credit approval. For information in New York City, call 399-2247.
Holiday Inn has a no excuses room guarantee. What do you think that means?
I find something wrong in my room and it can't be fixed for me. That night, I stay free.
Well, I would assume it means that things will be correct to begin with.
It means your Holiday Inn room will be right, or they will make it right. For that night, you stay free. You don't get this guarantee from any other hotel chain. Not one.
I'm not looking for anything free, but I do expect to get what I paid for it.
WABC Talk Radio 77. Well, that's very interesting. Mel Grayson at Jason's 23 West 73. You have to do that on our out and around town thing. Well, we do our regular bit. August the 7th at Jason's.
Write that down, and I'll get to it. It's your nearly famous Ross and Wilson show.
Good morning, good morning, good morning to one and all. Good morning to you, Linda. How are things in the way of Garrett City?
Oh, you're fine, thanks.
Where are you calling from over there?
River Edge.
River Edge. Oh, that's right across the hell. The window was open. We could see you just about.
Is it near Moss Creek?
Yeah, well, no. Moss Creek is further inland. Moss Creek's more inland towards in Bergen County. It's kind of north of northeast. It's around Ridgewood, actually. I think.
We're not near Ridgewood.
Let's see. It's actually it's about.
Don't stutter, Brian.
About 10 miles. Well, I'm trying to get my directions right here. It's east of.
We don't have any windows in the building
Ridgewood, north of west of Parsippany? Park Ridge, I was trying to think, and somewhere. It's hard to triangulate. I know how to get there, but I haven't gotten familiar with all the surrounding towns yet. Moss Creek. You probably look it up on your travel atlas. Probably see it there. Yeah. How are things in River Edge this morning? Are you anywhere down near the boat?
What boat?
The showboat with the restaurant in it there. The tugboat or whatever the hell that thing is.
We have a boat?
Yeah, of course you have a boat. The one right down there.
How long have you lived there?
9 years.
9 years. Do you think you have that restaurant down there by the...
I lived in Paramus for 24 years before that.
24 years. Jeez, in lovely Paramus. Mm-hmm. You remember the Paramus Park Mall?
Oh, sure.
It's sinking.
I think that's a vicious rumor myself.
Yeah, right. Built on a bed of quicksand. You ought to go over there and take a look at it.
Don't believe him.
A lot of quicksand in Paramus, is there, Linda?
Well, I've live.
Not where you live, huh? Mm-hmm.
So what's going on this morning in River Edge?
Honor of this call, yes.
I only found you guys about 6 months ago.
Oh, yeah?
I might have answered this before.
Gee, you missed a year of great entertainment.
So you've told me time and again.
Well, a year of mediocre entertainment. Let's leave it.
We didn't get hot until you joined us, Linda.
No, so you might have answered this question before.
Yes.
However, at the risk of being redundant, I'm going to ask it again.
I figured you would, yeah.
How did you start saying Boston?
Boston? There's that name again. You mean that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a long story.
We almost went up to...
We almost went to work in Boston a few years ago, and it's really deliberate. I tell you what, you come to the softball game that we'll be playing in River Edge in a few weeks, and I'll explain it to you personally.
In River Edge?
We're going to be in River Edge. Edgewater, I'm sorry.
Edgewater.
Not far from River Edge. Edgewater. Edgewater. You know where Edgewater is, don't you?
Vaguely.
It's lovely this time of year. You'll enjoy the trip.
They have a lovely beach, and we'll be there at Edgewater, and you come over there, and I'll take you behind the stands and explain Boston. There's that name again to you. You'll be a better woman for it after it's over.
Okay, I'll tell my husband that. Also, my husband,
We'll bring him along too. Yes.
What happened to Choose Your News?
Choose Your News. Well, I tell you, I think Choose Your News is actually that was a franchise, and we purchased the rights to that from Bullet McPoon, who during the off season is a franchise broker here in New York, and you probably are familiar with our tales of his Chipwich enterprises. Anyway, Bullet was unable to negotiate with us on the renewal of that particular franchise. We hope to get back to Choose Your News after the All-Star break.
Well, it really appealed to him. He's 8.
He's 8. Your husband is 8?
No, my son.
Oh, your son. Well, that's a relief for you.
Yeah, I think I'd really be in trouble if my husband were 8.
Boy, that's with a number of authorities, yes. To say the least. Well, so that we'll endeavor to return Choose Your News to the airwaves once we can get clearance from Bullet.
Okay.
Very well.
All righty.
Linda, see you at the softball game.
Thank you for calling.
Bye-bye.
5 minutes away from 10 o'clock.
WABC Talk Radio on your nearly famous Ross and Wilson show.
The Boston story is rather unusual, when I will say that.
And long.
And long, too. That's why we can't get into it. It's a thing. And who cares, really? All you know is that whenever you hear B-O-S-T-O-N...
You can count on hearing us say, Boston,
there's that name again. It's almost as bad as G-Y-T.
Don't even
get into that one, no. I saw my first caterpillar yesterday, however, on an oak tree outside my home in Moss Creek. And I smashed the little booger and took care of that.
Good for you.
Well done. A caterpillar.
Yes.
One of those G-moth caterpillars.
Right. That's the best way to put it. Don't forget, later on today, Michael Jackson will be talking with comedian David Brenner.
Oh, well, that's nice. Yes. David Brenner's a New York guy and a funny guy. Always one of the funniest ones. And Span, of course, will be coming out in about 10 minutes with the first alien from outer space, and that'll be interesting talking to that.
Well, I didn't know that.
And of course, is
probably a late guest.
Yes.
Late booking.
Just arrived, actually. And that'll be a lot of fun.
I'm certainly looking forward to it.
Do we have...
It's your nearly famous Ross and Wilson show. I did want to mention. I do want to mention that we do have a bunch of things that I would like to talk about.
All right, what was that?
Well, people that.
We never talked about my cherry pit spitting record.
Your cherry pit spitting.
Well, you know, today the world distance cherry pit spitting record set at Eau Claire, Michigan on this day in 1978. Bill Mobley, who beat me and my record that was set back in 1967. Don't you remember us talking about that about a year ago?
Yeah.
A year ago today, I think, as a matter of fact. He beat my record of 47 feet 3 inches with 49 feet 2 inches.
No.
His father held the record back in 1930.
It's a heck of a long way to go.
I'd say he's the spitting image of his father. But I was thinking if you wanted to, we could...
I'm really sorry you said that.
So Susie, apparently, she's wiping the blood from her earlobes there.
Well,
Yak indeed, Ronnie.
Really?
Do you want to, I thought we could probably restage, now that I'm a professional cherry pit spitter, we only have a couple of minutes left, we could restage it here.
Well, we've done that.
The one that where I take this cherry pit that I brought in with me, and ricochet it around the room. Do you have any interest in doing that?
We don't, I don't think,
you don't want to do that,
I don't think we need to do that.
Oh, it was a heck of a deal.
I know that.
It's called the Annie Oakley of cherry picking.
Well, and for good reason,
absolutely,
I'm sure.
that's true. Well,
Back on this date in 1629, the King of Spain sent King Charles I of England a gift of an elephant and 5 camels.
Well, I sure beat the partridge in a pear tree, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah, the written instructions for the care of the beast read, the camels are to be daily grazed in the park, but brought back at night with all possible precautions to screen them from the vulgar gaze.
I beg your pardon?
The elephant from April...
Are you trying to get us into more trouble with the gay community?
Well, no, that's G-A-Z-E.
Oh, gaze.
It's like looking at, not the gay community, no. The elephant from April until September must have a gallon of wine a day.
Oh, really?
Good grief.
My goodness, indeed.
You feed an elephant a gallon of wine.
Well, it was a big day here in Nueva York City in 1907.
Why is that?
Ziegfeld Follies opened up in the New York Theater right here in 1907. Interestingly enough, a little-known fact that you may not be aware of, the show was not produced inside the theater, but on the roof.
On the roof?
On the roof. It was done on the roof of
Sounds
the
like
theater.
a Drifter's record.
Yes, Florian Ziegfeld felt apparently that his dancing girls, if they brought down the house, he'd rather be on it than in it. Well, so this was kind of a long way to go to kill this last minute, you might say.
93 years ago, on this date, nobody put on gloves for the World Championship fight at Richburg, Mississippi, because John L. Sullivan, famous bare-knuckle boxer, and Jake Kilrain were battling the last of the bare-knuckle heavyweight fight. Sullivan took him, but it took 75 rounds to do it.
Wow!
Yes.
Incredible. They said to soak their hands for a long time after that. Oh, and by the way, of course, you know, it's interesting. Art Rush Jr. was there for that.
Oh, he was.
He was there ringside.
93 years ago.
I'm sure they'll be happy to tell you what everyone in the audience was doing, chewing, eating, reading, and so on.
Yes.
Interestingly enough, Jerry Vale has a birthday today, 51 years old today, and Ross and I are going to go down to Mama Leone's right now and watch him slurp his pasta.
And shower.
And speaking of slurping, it's time for the news, and John Maher, former